Welcome back to the Conversation Podcast. Today we're going to be talking about the advancements of technology in society and just like the world. I'm Nejvon.
I'm Cieran.
I'm Joe.
Okay, so let's begin. What do you guys want to start with?
I want to talk about the Horizon project.
So I'm not as clear on the Horizon telescope project, but are any of you?
Apparently, it's like a massive historical step forward, like the first man to go to the moon. Because
Really?
this is the first picture we've ever got of a black hole.
Oh damn!
Yeah.
Is it that good?
Yeah, but it looks like a Cheerio ring. That's the problem.
You know what? I mean, I'm sure we could take whatever we get.
Cheers are not red. But yeah,
Well,
it is
a
pretty
picture's a
monumental.
picture, right? So,
Yeah, well,
Semi, yeah.
No,
What do you think, Joe?
it's pretty amazing actually. They went ahead and sent this huge thing to space, and it took pictures of two different black holes. One of them was actually in the center of the Milky Way,
No shot.
which is pretty exciting.
Very.
I need
Well,
to stop doing that noise. That is really, really annoying.
it is, but what?
It's a habit.
Look, honestly, it really is. And I swear there's the James Webb telescope as well, right?
Yeah.
What did that capture?
I believe that's just going out in space and
Really?
looking at stuff. That's just generally looking at far out universes, I believe,
Damn.
or
I mean,
galaxies.
That's
rather.
crazy.
what's the craziest thing that has probably been captured on these telescopes?
The pillars of creation.
The
that
pillars
is-
of creation.
Maybe.
No, that is a wonderful picture.
Really?
If you haven't seen it, it is a beautiful picture. It's like stardust,
Right.
gas,
Right.
kind of in space, and it looks like four massive pillars.
Oh wow.
And it is beautiful.
That is quite insane.
You know,
Actually.
I've never personally seen space before, primarily because I'm too stupid to be in space.
Right.
But it's pretty damn cool.
I don't doubt it.
You can see space from Earth. Just look up. Don't be in a building.
We
Look up.
can't because
Exactly
of,
true.
Light pollution.
You don't need to see the stars to see space. Space is everywhere.
I mean, if you can see the moon, then you can practically see space,
Yeah.
and the moon is there
That
constantly,
is a solid point. Yeah.
and the sun, and other planets as well. Normal, I wouldn't say cheap, but normal telescopes can even capture planets like Jupiter and whatnot, which is insane because if you think about it, decades, centuries ago, you could not see that stuff now, which is insane to think about because all you really need is glass and a really kind of refined glass that can
Lots
allow
and
you to
lots of glass.
A
magnify
lens.
but yeah, exactly,
Mhm.
a really good lens just to see a planet that is light years away from us.
You don't need a telescope to see all the planets.
True,
There are certain
true.
days.
Yeah.
If you're on a clear sky, you can see some of the largest planets within our.
Which
Some
is
galaxy.
also quite crazy because imagine what people years ago thought about those planets, because if I was, I don't know, in the 1580s, right, and I looked up and I just saw a random ass planet, I think I'd be going crazy or something.
I think it would be Judgment Day. I think God would be
Honestly,
coming down to
exactly.
the earth and ready to
Exactly.
smite all of us.
Exactly, which is just crazy to think about.
It's crazy to think about just space exploration as it is.
Yeah, true.
You know, because we've been spending so many years, almost a century now, trying to explore space, and we've discovered so many cool things. We've discovered different planets. We've discovered new solar systems, new nebulas, different
Right.
galaxies.
Mm.
People
But
have been interested in space for a long, long time.
Very.
People have been mapping the stars in, our own little galaxy
Yeah.
for hundreds and hundreds of years. It is very impressive.
It's genuinely extremely, extremely impressive. And the lead man as of right now who is venturing to Mars is Elon Musk, right?
Some people are concerned about that.
Yeah.
Some people, but
Many are critical.
many are very critical.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I trust a billionaire to go to Mars and set it up to make it fair for everyone, but maybe he has good intentions. Maybe he's trying to raise an alien army to destroy Earth.
Right.
We don't know.
I mean,
We'll find out.
ignoring the fact that he's trying to like move civilization to like another planet, right? I think he's been like very successful with his like journeys and whatnot,
Absolutely.
because we've seen like lots of images and he's had like successful launches, which is almost insane to think about that. We went from like smashing rocks together to like make fire to like sending big like weighted sheets of metal into like space and like landing on like a different planet. It's
Really.
it's like almost like unbelievable to like just think about.
But that is a little bit dishonest. You say going from rocks, you know, to sending stuff to space.
Right.
Honestly,
It wasn't a fast process.
No, I would say the opposite. It was very, very fast.
I think so as well.
The moment that electricity and industrialization was discovered, the technological level of humanity skyrocketed. It has been a few hundred years
Right.
at most.
Right.
And
yeah.
we are already going to space. We've sent people to the moon. We've sent actually I saw a thing that some space shuttle was being sent to straight into the sun.
Right.
And there was a new record for how close it got, and it's getting closer and closer, and it's traveling very fast.
Of course.
On an astral level, it's still very far away.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But I mean, nothing is out of bounds apparently.
Apparently not. It seems like
Apparently not.
every day we just get closer and closer to the sun, apparently, because
Yeah.
that is like the sun is extremely hot, like more than extremely. That is like barely like scratching the surface. Like imagine
Unbelievably hot.
unbelievably hot.
Unbelievable.
Like imagine creating a device that can withstand that heat, and it's just gonna get closer and closer like every time.
That is
Eventually it'll
incredible.
burn up.
What do you think we can possibly find on the sun? I doubt there's like anything. It is just
Fire.
like a star. Exactly.
Plasma,
lots of
maybe.
fire.
Exactly. But imagine like there's a secret civilization on the sun. Like what because like what really could be stopping aliens from just like surviving that like climate?
Probably how hot it is.
Probably how hot
yeah.
it is.
We get into this on maybe
I mean,
Conspiracy
like, as long as
theories
they have
part
one
two.
of them.
Conspiracy theories part 2, sure.
sun
Yeah.
aliens.
We can definitely do that if you guys would like it. What else do we have to talk about? Simulations. I think simulations is like extremely interesting for like technology, because not only have we created tech that can go to space, we've created tech that can like replicate and like play out an entire different reality, which
Yeah.
is almost unbelievably like insane. I just keep like repeating the same words, but there really is nothing to describe how technological society has like actually gotten. But with simulations, does anyone care to expand on
I
that?
think it first started with VR. I think.
I don't think so.
I definitely don't think that's true, because like imagine the Sims game, right? Like you can create lives and yada yada yada, like make babies, create entire cities, like
I thought you meant like physical, like simulations.
right.
But you're talking about like
Simulations in general.
just life.
we could
things
probably
that are
reduce
made.
it far back. We've been simulating things for a very long time. Computers are very helpful.
Yeah.
You could probably say we've been simulating stuff before that in our brains, not nearly as effectively, but stuff like physics simulations. So not necessarily like, you know, the most wide or broad spectrum, not simulating, you know, lives. That's very complex, but like
Yeah.
just purely mathematical and physical equations. That's how, you know, we got to the moon. You can even talk about simulating.
That's how we make buildings.
Yeah, like
Architecture.
That's a simulation.
Yeah,
in a
exactly.
sense. Even electrical components. You know, we do the simulations, the maps,
Right.
draw out the circuitry.
Yeah,
Right.
Could you imagine how many deaths there would be for someone to create a massive rocket if they didn't know exactly the precise amount, the
Yeah.
precise weight, the angle where you attach the piece of metal to, the size of the engine, the power the engines exert on liftoff? Like that would be a massive trial and error process.
Yeah, trial and error is not something you want to risk too much when it
Speaking
comes
of
to
death,
stuff like that.
I think we have a topic on that.
Really?
Oh,
Do we?
Genetic
Mycelium
engineering
coffins.
or mycelium coffins? Yeah,
All
which one do you want to
those.
do?
We can start with mycelium coffins and then move on to genetic engineering.
Yeah. I can talk a little bit about that. I didn't do too much research, but essentially, and I think you can do it now. You can buy mycelium coffins, which are just essentially, they are made of the roots of mushrooms, which will grow out. So when you die, they're gonna place your body in the coffin and bury you. They'll grow out into mushrooms. They'll help decompose you, and then eventually the coffin itself will biodegrade. So it is unlike normal coffins, which are apparently really harmful to the environment. They
Apparently
take
so.
up obviously a lot of space.
They do.
They take forever to degrade.
Yeah.
And all the chemicals in the production and just generally the maintenance.
Yeah.
So that's like a lot
pretty
of
harmful.
energy and just environment saved, because
Mm.
when you think about it, there's 8 billion people on this planet.
Yeah, we hit
That's a
that
lot
record.
of corpses in the next 100 years.
Yeah.
So it's actually really good that we're deciding to figure out more environmentally friendly ways of making peace with our relatives,
Right.
if you know what I mean.
Makes a lot of sense. I definitely do think that there are a lot of advantages to using mycelium coffins rather than like traditional coffins, you know,
However, I feel like there is a disadvantage to this.
which is
Grave robbing. That's going to be 10 times easier, because now they don't have to have...
Who grave robs? In this year, I don't think grave robbing is very
in this
fashionable.
society.
People still do it.
Really?
In this
Yeah.
society,
I don't
you
feel
really
like-
think so?
people
I mean,
are not
what if it's a
really
rich
buried.
guy? And they...
Why would a rich guy need to grave rob?
He's not like a pharaoh. He's
No.
not buried with all
What
his
if the
belongings.
dead guy's
Oh.
a rich guy? Right? This is what I'm trying to say.
Oh, right,
What if,
right,
like,
right.
I don't know, in the next 50 years, Jeff Bezos passes away from diarrhea or something,
Mm.
and he goes to his grave and he has like these wonderful like pieces of jewelry, watches, necklaces on him. I would grave rob.
Sure,
grave rob
right.
that grave.
Of all people, I don't think Jeff Bezos would be
Buried
buried in
with
a
his
very
Items.
first of all as items, but in a very public or accessible place. You know, maybe he'll preserve himself, like freeze himself in like a cryo chamber,
Exactly.
and then hope that in the future,
For
maybe
1,000 years,
before he
hopefully.
dies,
Yeah.
maybe we'll invent something to make you immortal, not
Yeah.
die.
I mean,
old age.
that is literally the only way we're going to be able to survive climate change.
I don't think so. I think we have a lot of options. We still have time.
We
can
have
reverse it.
a little bit of time, yes, but in regards to how fast this has all went down and how fast the Earth has just melted into oblivion, we don't really have that much time left.
We are actually creating a lot of technology that can help with that, though. Like, I've seen clips of boats that like collect up trash, and Mr. Beast, big philanthropist and like influencer, he's been very adamant on like saving like climate and whatnot. He's been going around taking up like trash and whatnot. He also did the Save the Trees program.
Yeah.
Where like
Yeah.
he like I think he planted a tree for every like $1.
Dollar.
Yeah,
or
dollar.
something.
And
Wait.
it was about 20 million trees, something like that.
I think so. I have no idea. Maybe it like reached like 200 million because a lot of people like did donate. But it was absolutely insane because like the amount of trees was so impactful that I genuinely think with the amount that we had planted, like that may not be enough to save the climate like as a whole,
Entirely,
but it's definitely like somewhat impactful.
yeah, it's significant,
And-
especially once they're all fully grown.
Like 24 million trees is a lot of trees.
It
which-
is. It is a pretty
So,
good number.
It's
For one
definitely
guy.
going to be like impactful. Yeah,
Mr.
exactly.
Beast organized that, and he has a
Yeah.
team, of course. But like,
Yeah.
that is the actions of like
On
one
person, one
person with
idea.
a platform.
Mm.
Like, if we get a bunch more of people, that will be tenfold, perhaps.
Yeah.
the
We
amount
need
of
to
trees.
clone Mr. Beast.
We
Yeah,
really?
maybe.
I mean,
We need more of him in this world. Actually, cloning,
cloning and genetic
engineering.
Yeah.
engineering.
That
Those
is a
are
very
also
good topic.
two different topics that like we have for today. Which one do you want to get into?
I want to get into cloning first.
Cloning,
I think that's
really?
the coolest one. Yeah.
Cloning is very interesting.
I think so as well.
Not because of cloning itself, but just the moral implications.
Mm.
Because like when is it actually like morally right to like clone someone. Like if they don't give their like own kind of like consent exactly, then like is it really right to do it?
I don't see any. I can't on the top of my head
See any like problems with
see
it?
any problems. Yeah.
Because like it's not really hurting anyone. It's kind of like creating a new life in like a way. Like unless you're extremely egotistical and you're like, no, I want to be the only me on this planet, then like that's like understandable.
I'm also thinking about kind of what about their family members? You know, they've grown up, they've lived knowing this one special person, and now there's a second one of him.
I mean,
in the world,
just because you're cloned doesn't mean you're going to be the same person. There's a lot of environmental factors that can affect you.
True.
But it might still be a bit impactful to the families, because personally,
very similar.
Yeah, if I woke up one day and there was two of my brother, I would be a bit scared, first of all.
Fair enough.
You just grew an identical twin, I don't know.
Yeah, just a doppelganger. I don't know what it is.
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily be afraid. Actually, if it was my little brother, I'd probably be very afraid. I could not handle two of them. But if he was cloned, I would definitely be like confused to a certain extent. But like, come on, like who wouldn't be confused if they woke up and they had like another twin of like
confused.
a sibling? But
you do a lot of shady stuff, and you can just pin it all on your clone.
You could do that. That's
unless,
definitely true.
Yeah, unless
they
like
could do
Parliament,
some sort of, like physical marker to distinguish clones. But also, I think one of the possibilities of moral implications for cloning would be why. Like, I don't see I can't think of a good reason to clone somebody or yourself unless they have some sort of very specific trait. Like, for example, if somebody has like a very valuable type of blood that can cure some sort of disease, the person who is physically alive and has that might be very old and about to pass away.
Organ transplants and whatnot.
Or like for organs.
Maybe
the moral implication then would be: is it okay to clone someone and make a new person solely for the purpose of harvesting organs or their blood or whatever?
Right.
Because that would be
pretty
weird.
Messed up. Yeah. It would be in Rick and Morty. I like hate to say it, but like there's a robot that is made and his only purpose is to serve butter and to like be made be made as a sentient creature, and like you only have one purpose. It's kind of like torturous, because like if you're sentient, you would want to be free. But if you're sentient and like you only have that one purpose, then it's like extreme. It's like demoralizing.
That's on the sort of, I don't even think it's on the border of slavery. That probably just would be considered slavery.
It would be.
It would be, yeah. Because I mean, personally, for me, if I were to wake up in some lab and think, oh wow, look at this cool lab, and then a scientist approaches me and I ask him, hey, what you doing here? And he just says, oh hey, you're awake. Get in this blender. I wouldn't really be that excited about that.
I don't think anyone would be, but yeah, I don't know. I don't think anyone would be very excited to be invited into a blender, but people are different.
Some people have fetishes for blenders.
Perhaps there's a way to clone people, but selectively leave out some sort of consciousness aspect to it.
Maybe.
I was hoping for like something like that to like be good, to be completely honest, because if you could kind of because if you clone something without a conscious, then like is it really like alive, so you wouldn't really wouldn't be any like ethical or like moral kind of disadvantages to like kind of using that thing that you created to like farm off organs for like the better of humans and like society and whatnot.
But then that just reminds me of like it's like beating a sad, lonely puppy, you know what I mean? It's a bit, they don't have a conscience, they don't know what's going on, they don't understand anything that they see or experience.
I mean, puppies have consciousness.
But nowhere near as advanced as humans.
I mean,
vegans would definitely say puppies are conscious.
Absolutely.
If you eat meat and you say animals are conscious, then you should probably stop eating meat.
True, extremely true. But
or having pets.
Because again,
that is
or wearing leather.
Point.
You have
technically,
to go the full way.
that is slavery in itself.
Yeah, if they're conscious.
True. And as I was going to say, like puppies are definitely like they have a state of like being, so like they may not understand what's going on, but like neither do we, because like as babies we were born and we were like, what the hell, why? And then we grow up and like now we have like some sort of purpose, you know. So like that's kind of like same with puppies in like a way, you know.
Yeah, we just generate like these neurons in our brain to kind of recognize things like, oh, this is a chair, this is what I sit in, not eat.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, oh, this is a candy bar, I should eat this.
I think the more important distinction would be like, in one sense, the word sure, puppies might be conscious because, you know, they're awake, they can respond to things.
Yeah.
But are they on the same level of consciousness as people, right?
Sure.
Because it's
it's
a huge moral question.
It is.
Maybe they're on like a really higher level of conscience, but in their own way. We're conscious through, you know, being able to kind of see between the lines of materials. We can like calculate lengths and heights and widths. We can understand social contexts, but only within, you know, other people.
Right.
I think one of the markers of sort of human consciousness, we'll say, we'll use that word, human consciousness.
Yeah.
For a long time has been language, actually. The ability to speak. More recently, that's been contested widely. I'm sure you all know, sign language was taught to, you know, animals.
Yeah.
Mostly monkeys, you know.
Mostly
gorillas,
monkeys.
chimps, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But also now with the more recent invention of chatbots and stuff, which are able to hold conversation without, you know, being people very, very fluently. They're very adaptable, very quick.
Bit creepy.
Very creepy.
So to explain, chatbots are like artificial intelligence who can like construct human conversations and whatnot.
And just keep them, they'll keep going.
They just keep talking because like, I mean, honestly, if I were to be a chatbot, which wouldn't really be possible, but theoretically, I would have the like internet as like my like entire library, right? And I would have context and like information to like every conversation. So as a chatbot, you practically just can't shut up, you know. Like humans, they don't know like everything on the planet, but like being connected to the internet, you can just keep on going. So chatbots are like definitely a like kind of I wouldn't say scary, but like a very like intimidating feature of like AI.
Endless knowledge, first of all, that's a bit scary. And also the possibility of chatbots being used in like military scenarios or to be able to, I don't know, kind of intercept conversations is also a possibility, or to act like, I don't know, a general of an army and talk to a lieutenant. That is a very scary possibility, and we are actually etching closer and closer to that. You know, we're starting to lose, you know, our grasp on what it means to be human because we're developing so many forms of technology, so many artificial intelligences that can behave like us. Are we really that special, or do we just have this massive ego
that's the big
makes
question.
us think, oh, we're great, but are we really?
Like, at one point do we consider like an artificial intelligence to be as conscious as a person? Like, at what point are we going to have to seriously consider, after we've made some sort of advanced AI, giving AI rights and stuff like that? Because eventually, I mean, if we keep going on this course,
we're gonna get to that level.
Yeah, we'll get it. Because if we're able to replicate some sort of AI that can, by all factors, appear as if it were a person, doesn't matter if it actually is or not, because it can. The illusion is perfect. Right. Like,
literally perfect.
Like, you could be set up with a chatbot and not even realize it. Yeah. Like, they can replicate human mannerisms and like conversation to a like teeth. They are absolutely amazing. And like, not only that, well, I was gonna mention that, like, at what point is AI like below us, you know? Because like at some point it's gonna become more